Now, how does this happen to players? How would you put the situation? Now, Henry Onyekuru, he's had 3 spells in Turkey with Galatasaray. He was worshipped at the club, did so well with the club. First spell, did so well, won the league, won the cup, went back, came back second spell, did so well again. Third spell, he came back, did so well. Then he went to Greece. He couldn't cut it. This is a man who also, at some point, was at Everton. He couldn't get into the team. He played at Anderlecht. He couldn't get into the team. Even after his breakthrough season with Eupen in Belgium, he went back to Greece, Olympiacos. I mean, one of the biggest teams in Greece, if not the biggest team in Greece. He couldn't cut it as well. Now he's back in Turkey with Adana Demirspor, and he started the season on fire. Now, how would you sum up this? Is it that players have a particular environment they tend to thrive in? Because it's the same football you're playing. I mean, Turkey, Greece. How would you rate the footballing aspect in those two countries? But Henry Onyekuru's case is just, I think it's just peculiar. Now you're back in Turkey, you're scoring the goals, you're banging in the goals, but you couldn't do it elsewhere. So how would you generalize that situation? How would you put it in that situation?
There is this thing that Andre Pello wrote in his book, I think Therefore I Play. He said everything that happened on the football field first happens in your mind. And that's why he ends the title of the book, I think, Therefore I Play. And in the entire human existence, that's actually the reality. If you're going to fail, you first fail here. That's one. Apples are eaten in abundance in Nigeria, but apples don't grow in Nigeria. So there are certain kind of people or certain kind of seeds that will grow in certain kind of environment. And the guy who would play incredibly well in Spain might come to England and flop. So let's do a chronology so we don't make it all about Onyekuru, but I would use this chronology to explain Onyekuru. Thierry Henry went to Italy. It's a flop. Not Thierry Henry, but Carlo Ancelotti. So let me tell the listeners some of these things that happen in football. A club might decide we are having a paradigm shift this season. We want to groom home-based players, the local players, and the reason for it is the national team is now beginning to have a deficit of players. The players in the national team are fading away, and if we spend the next 2 or 3 seasons grooming players, the national team will take our players to the Euros, to the World Cup, and it will benefit us because of the returns. Instead of us grooming and developing players, and this is always happening maybe the year after the World Cup, before your players are going out and you need new group of players, the top clubs in those leagues decide we want to groom our players for the national team. We want to prepare. It's a strategic thing. It happens everywhere. And then the media also in those countries set themselves up in such a way that they only promote players that are possibly able to play in the national team. They never say anything bad about them. People like Grealish benefited from that, Declan Rice, Theo Walcott in time past, Jack Wilshere, when Rooney proved himself. You know, Harry Kane. Most players that will play in the national team get that benefit of the depth and then special focus, and the clubs will not even sign players to come and touch their position. That's one. So Onyekuru's move to different places are not doing well. It's not a question on his talent. It's just the fact that he went to places where, like Sonolise left Regina, they begged him. They begged him to sign for Juventus. He signed for Juventus. The coach that was there left, and Ancelotti was given the chance to start. But when Ancelotti was signed in, he was given an instruction that, look, Italian players have preference here. Whatever you want to say, we don't care, but Italian players have preference. So Olise couldn't even play. Olise was told by the coach that I will not play you in the league. I'll play in cup games. And then when they play to get to maybe major competition where the bigger spotlight is on them, they will take them out again and bring the local players, and they're going to lose. Same thing happened in Dortmund. As a matter of fact, Italians said that Ando Di Piero is better than Zidane. You've ever wondered why Zidane went and left Juventus? That's the reason. People said he wasn't good enough. This is a guy who played in Bordeaux team that went all the way to the finals of the UEFA Cup, and then they lost to Bayern Munich. But somehow they believe that Andre Pello is better than Zidane because he's a foreigner, even though they are both Europeans. I mean, he's the son of a Algerian immigrant. So he moved to Real Madrid. Thank God, Fiorentino Perez was starting the Galactico era, and that happened. Okay.
Hello guys, I'm Dr. Jamal. I'm from Ethiopia. You are watching Legbete TV Radio. Please subscribe.
Hello, my name is Dr. Nigam. I am from Pakistan, and you are watching LBT TV Radio. Please subscribe.
Hi, my name is Abdullah Wali. I'm from Pakistan, the #1 country in the world in cricket. You're watching Legbete Sports TV Radio. Please subscribe.
So sometimes divine providence will just happen for you. France won the World Cup. These guys become bigger players. Thierry Henry was bold enough to say, I'm leaving. And the reason why he left was because Aneka left Arsenal. And his former coach, his mentor, wanted to replace Aneka. Just hypothetically, Aneka did not leave Arsenal. Where would Henry have gone? Would have stayed with Juventus, sit on the bench, not get the time to play because the coach have decided these are the players that I want to give a chance. And we would not even have come to know this Thierry Henry that we know the way we know him now. And that could also be a problem. So sometimes domino effect will just favor you. For Onyekuru, what he's shown is that it's not the lacking of the talent, it's the opportunity under the coaches. So look at Alex Iwobi, for instance, I've never spoken good about. But under Frank Lampard, a coach who desperately needed a player to turn on. He tried to do it with Mason Mount at Chelsea. He wanted to reproduce himself. He wanted to reproduce himself in the midfield position. He couldn't do it, complete the assignment with Chelsea. What did he do? He's gone to Everton and all of a sudden turned a player who didn't have a playing position, who doesn't even know football, who play like he's lost, absent-minded to become one of the big Trojan in his team. So sometimes if you have a coach who love you that much and willing to work with you, it's fine. We've seen that with what's it called, Jose Mourinho do with a lot of his African players, Michael Essien and Didier Drogba and a host of other players that he's worked with. When you play in a team where the coach is on your side, chances are that you will do the impossible. When Lisandro Martinez came to Man United first game, they said it was too short, you cannot cut it. But now, in 4 games unbeaten, the winning streak is going on. The first name on the team sheet is Lisandro Martinez. Even the English press cannot force Maguire to play anymore because this guy is really doing well. For once, we're not seeing the leadership of Varane in that midfield, in that centre back, and everything is going well. So when you have a coach who likes you, you would become the superstar. But when you play in a team where the coach have an idea that he wants to play somebody else and you're just there, it's going to be hard. We saw that with Brian Day when he went to West Bromwich Albion. The coach from the get-good didn't want him. Yeah. It was a signing that the coach, don't worry. The excuse the coach gave him is that I like my players to have been in the preseason with me.
Pulis?
Yeah, it was Tony Pulis. I like players that I've worked with in preseason. Because you didn't do preseason with me, there is nothing I can do. And that's how Brian Ade didn't play for a very long time, okay? And then he had to move. So these things happen. And then sometimes coaches will tell you, go and play and show the world that you're not good enough. That happened with Joe Royal and Amokachi. He never liked him. Amokachi made the best substitution of his life. And Joe Royal said, the best substitution I never did. Okay, that's the headline. If you type online, the substitution I never did. Joe Roy saying that to Everton fan, semi-finals of the English FA Cup, where Tottenham was almost killing Everton, but eventually Amokachi went to score 2 goals and created one, and then they won the game and they went to the finals. And the Slimper, former Arsenal midfielder, the Swedish short man, scored the winning goal. I think it was him or it was Andrew Slimper against Manchester United, and they won the FA Cup. So sometimes this thing happen across all phases of play. We're talking about it here because we're Nigerians. I think that Onyekuru, I seen him at close range with the national team. He's a happy guy. He's got very good techniques. Like Ola, for instance, he's got very good techniques. But, you can have all of that and not have the right opportunity. Thank God he's back in Turkey. What I would hope for is that this deal stop being loan and then he signs there permanently. There's nothing wrong with playing 10 years in Turkey, actually. If that's where you play well, then play well there.
Exactly, and you're talking about the relationship between the player and the manager. Onyekuru had good relationship with Fatih Terim, the Galatasaray manager. Then
my former coach.
Yeah, you played under him?
I trained under him.
Oh, okay.
In Sweden.
Fantastic.
I came in and then he left. It was the beginning of his coaching career.
Fantastic. So he had a good relationship with Onyekuru, and you could tell, Onyekuru speaks highly of him, and he also speaks highly of Henry Onyekuru. But it's good to see him back.
He loves Africans.
Yeah, it's good to see him back in Turkey, and he's one player who is under a good. When you talk about branding and Super Eagles players, Henry Onyekuru is one of them.
Fantastic guy,
doing so well,
and he's a nice guy. He's a happy fellow.
Yeah, very happy guy as well. I've spoken to him a couple of times.
You are listening to Legbete TV Radio.